Hey, what's up guys? So today's video is just going to be a quick install of the shock skids for the rear shocks, obviously, from Z1 Off-Road, as you guys can see right here. Probably already seen the videos if you're watching this. In person, it's pretty insane quality, honestly. You have their little, they call them, I think, bolt bunkers or something like that. It's pretty cool, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's awesome because it has the 148 foot-pounds right here you're going to be torquing it to. There's not really much I can say other than these things are pretty insane, pretty well built. Definitely give me some peace of mind because I've hit my shock mounts on some stuff before, as you guys would know. If you own a 3rd gen Frontier, the shock mounts on the rear axle are like super low. It's probably the lowest point of the truck, honestly, and it doesn't really make sense. And it's just going to ensure that they're not going to get damaged, because I don't know how to weld, and if God forbid it ever got ripped off by something, not even on the trails, just anything like day-to-day driving, maybe you hit something or something goes up under the truck and smashes it, you'd be screwed, because you would have to go to a shop and have them weld it on or like something crazy. But this is going to give you the peace of mind to not have to worry about any of that stuff. So for the tools, all you're going to need is a 19mm socket. I don't have it on a impact gun. I mean, you can do what you want. This little impact gun right here is good. I also have a bigger one for stuff that's harder to get off. It's only 148 foot-pounds, so it should be able to break free pretty easily. And then you're going to also want a torque wrench, because you're going to be torquing those bolts back to 148 foot-pounds as per the factory spec. And then you're just going to want a 19mm wrench so you can hold it on the other side and cantilever the torque wrench, tighten it. I'm just going to get right into the install here. It's going to probably take 3 minutes tops. Alright, so one thing I forgot to mention is you're going to also need a 12mm, because there's a 12mm bolt right here that holds this line in this bracket that it's on.
Hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
And it literally just broke off inside there, so that's good. That's good. Alright, so I ran into a nightmare with the bolt that holds this line in, and then ended up snapping because it was like frozen in there. So if you live in the Northeast, I would highly suggest spraying that with some kind of penetrating oil before you do this job. Ended up having to drill it out, and I'm hoping that this will suffice. It looks like it will. Hopefully. Super pain in the ass though. Have that happen. It's always the easiest jobs where everything just goes to shit. Alright. So now I'm just gonna undo the bottom mount here. So you're going to take this and you're going to just slide it up. Make sure it's positioned on the exterior of both sides. You're going to slide it up and then push it in place. And now here, all you got to do is just take the bolts. Actually, at this point you need the bolt bunkers, or whatever you want to call them. Alright, so I'm going to add to the tool list here. You're actually going to need a breaker bar as well, and basically two 19mm sockets. You need a long one for the gun or whatever. You're going to need a shorter one on the other side. So now that this is back on there, I'm just going to tighten this up. And I'm going to torque these afterwards. But as you can see here, it's protected pretty well. I like the fact that this kind of houses both ends of that bolt in there. Can't really get caught on anything. And then I have to tighten this up a little bit. This is the one that I had to install because I broke mine. I was going to record the whole process, but it was pretty long. Alright, now I just got to torque this down. Like I said, it's going to be 148 foot-pounds. You can't even really mess this up, honestly, because it's literally right on the bolt bunker, whatever you want to call it. There we go. Now we just got to do the other side. Like I said, I ran into an absolute nightmare on this right here. So that was seized up, like I said. Ended up snapping off the head. If you live in the Northeast, like I said, you should definitely spray some penetrating oil on that guy right there, because it will break off like this. So yeah, I had to do this a little bit differently. I ended up having to drill out that broken thing, and then I went to replace it and stripped out the hole. So then I just drilled the hole bigger. It's just a nightmare, but I had to drill the hole bigger, and then I put a different size bolt through with a washer, and then a washer and a bolt on the other side. So before I put this on, I had to actually pull this up to take the slack out of it, and I tightened this down first with the nylock nut on the other side, so this is secure. And then I had to push this shock up to compress it and then put it in here. So it is what it is. It's not a big deal. It's done. And I mean, this thing looks super stout, dude. I don't really have any worries now, really, at this point, of hitting anything under here, because I have dragged my rear end through some mud before. And this is why I actually have the ARB cover, was because I peeled the bottom of the factory diff cover off on a tree stump that was like in some mud. But yeah, I mean, it's pretty solid now. And then tomorrow I'm going to be putting the gas tank skid on at some point from Z1, and the bottom's going to basically be done, and the truck is going to be basically ready. And I'm going to be going to that Z1 Off-Road thing down in Georgia next weekend, and the truck's going to be basically done for that. But yeah, so now we're just going to go on to the other side and install that next. Alright, just like the other side, you don't want to jack this up. Just maybe like one pump, just to get the shock so it can get removed easily and lines up with the eyelet of the actual shock mount. Because like I said, once you have that shock skid on, you can't push up on the shock itself from the bottom to get that to line up. So it's a little bit easier to just jack it up a little bit if you don't have access to a lift, you know. Alright, this side should be a lot easier, because I don't have to worry about that extra bolt for that little bracket for that line that came undone. So should be pretty straightforward this time around. Just gonna take the 19 mil with the impact, and you're gonna take the breaker bar, get that on there. And it's that easy. Alright, so here we go again. Same thing like this. Gotta push the shock up into there. Gotta get the bolt bunker in there. So the last thing, I actually stripped out the old one
that I've replaced multiple times. So I guess it's probably a good idea to get new ones if you have the option to, you know. Alright, I'm going to torque this down. It's already set to 148. Hopefully this isn't a replay of what just happened, because that would totally suck. It's probably getting pretty close. Can't believe that thing's stripped out. I've never had one of those strip out, but I've taken this off and on so many times. It's bound to happen sooner or later. The nut itself basically lost the majority of the threads. The first half of the threads are gone. There's literally like one thread on there. So yeah, definitely just get the new hardware when you go to buy it. It's my only suggestion, honestly. I have the other half of the new hardware. They were short, I guess, on the bolts, so I'm waiting on the bolt to do this side 100% to finish it, but I just wanted to get them on. They look awesome. The fit and finish is primo. It's like everything else that Z1 makes. I mean, luckily we have Z1, because if we didn't, I don't know who else would be making stuff to support this platform. So, as always, happy that they're around. I'm looking forward to meeting a bunch of the dudes next weekend. I know you guys can't see me, but yeah, I'll just do some little quick B-roll of the end product here, and that'll be it. And then I'll be putting up another video of the gas tank skid plate install at some point soon, maybe before I go down to Georgia. Yeah, so it was a successful install after all the extra steps that ended up happening because of that bolt on the other side for that line bracket. I mean, realistically, this should only be like a 10-minute job. It turned into like an hour and a half job because of things breaking and what have you. I mean, that's normal. You're working on vehicles, stuff's gonna break, etc., especially if it's been on the truck for a little while and you live in the Northeast and it gets covered in salt and rusts, and great times, great times.